You know, egg donors have almost always been women in their 20s or early 30s, someone who may know an infertile couple and think it's a nice way to make some extra cash. But in this scary economy, fertility experts, insiders say they're seeing a dramatic uptick, not just in new donors, but repeat donors, just looking to pay the bills.
Thanks.
Bethany Grinstead is a very fertile stay-at-home mother of 5 young kids. The 26-year-old says her good fortune with fertility is helping her make a small fortune as an egg donor.
I'm very passionate when it comes to kids, and being able to help my family financially as well is another motivating factor.
Good genes and good looks have made Bethany a valued donor. She's already done it twice, making $5,000 each round. The first time she produced 18 eggs, the second time 22. And the shaky economy is definitely on her mind as she's preparing for round 3.
My boyfriend is in real estate, and with the housing market the way it has been, we do struggle, but I want to stay at home with my kids. The kids are growing up and they'll definitely need money for college and stuff.
The egg donation takes a month or 2 of hormones to sync up with a prospective mother. Then a round of fertility drugs, followed by minor surgery to harvest the eggs. Bethany says it's a tedious process.
I don't think I would do it that much without the money. It's just not worth all the time and energy it's put into it.
Ads in college newspapers across the country often entice women to be compensated for doing good. But in these tough economic times, it's the compensation part that seems to count.
I have no other explanation to say why all of a sudden we would have double the number of applicants just in a matter of a month.
From Wall Street to Main Street, as Americans are struggling to make ends meet, bad news in the stock market may spell good news for those in the market for a baby.
I've been involved in reproductive medicine since 1990, and I have never seen this kind of an increase in the number of applicants with egg, sperm donors, or surrogate.
It's a surge that's been seen across the country, 30 to 40% increases in applicants, according to professionals in the field of fertility. But there's also concern that the spike may inspire a decline in standards for donors.
I have heard some stories about some agencies that come and go and don't necessarily maintain the same standards that some of us who've been in the industry for a long time would like to maintain. It's important that there should be some standards set for egg donor recruiters. Anyone can get a business license to do egg donor recruiting.
Nancy Block says regulations are just the beginning. Her organization is calling for a national registry to protect the rights of the unborn child. Currently, medical records are only kept for 10 years on the donor, depriving the child later of information about their medical and genetic inheritance.
Egg donor cycles are too new. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We certainly don't know what their family health history will be in the future, and that's why it's important to keep records for, in my opinion, longer than 10 years.
And what about the health of frequent donors like Bethany? According to the American Fertility Association, no one has ever shown a long-term complication or increased risk with repeated egg donation. Most agencies ask that potential donors undergo physical and mental health screenings. And Block says the perfect candidate should be as concerned about helping infertile couples as they are about earning quick cash.
Donors are definitely motivated by money. I'm certainly not turned off by that at all, but if that's their primary motivation, I don't think egg donation is for them.
Bethany warns that those who consider it need to consider all of its implications first.
I think they definitely should be able to understand that there will be a child out there that is part of them, and to make sure they can psychologically handle that before they actually go through with it, for the money or for, wanting to help.
Now, fertility industry professionals say if you are interested in finding an agency as a donor or as a recipient, physicians' referrals is the best bet. But get references. Talk to someone who's worked with that agency, find out their track record, and make sure it's a long one. Just know that egg donation has been around since the 80s.
We really do want to know how you feel about that. A lot of mixed feelings. But you were pointing out the fact that sperm donation has been going on all this time, even longer.
Generations longer. And some feel there's a double standard because people say tisk tisk to egg donation, but don't blink an eye to sperm donation. And yet, because they're a couple of generations ahead, we know more about the implications of what happens when those children start to reach adulthood and start to ask questions.
Okay, thanks, Juju. And weigh in on all this, everybody, at abcnews.com.